The following is a tutorial of the Advanced IP Scanner, Advanced Port Scanner, and DHCP Rogue Detector utilities. We're going to start with the installation of all three utilities. So the Advanced IP Scanner is available if you just go to Google and you search for Advanced IP Scanner. You're going to see you get this result right here, advanced-ip-scanner.com, and you're going to go to free download and run the installation. It's already installed on this PC, so I'm not going to install it right now, but this is how you would download it and install it. The same is true for the Advanced Port Scanner. You're just going to go to Google, search for the Advanced Port Scanner. You can see the URL up here, advanced-port-scanner.com. You're going to download it and install it. The last application, the Rogue DHCP server utility, is available on our tech support folder in the Google Drive. You can see it here in the level 1 help desk folder, Rogue DHCP scanner. And as always, you could also search and you'd find it. I'm going to download this. I don't have that application running on this computer, but I'm going to download it, and you can see it available here in the zip file. So I'm going to put this on the side for a second. We're going to start with the Advanced IP Scanner. So what the Advanced IP Scanner allows us to do is scan the entire network for all IP addresses. So when we first launch the application here, at the bar in the top, it's going to ask, what IP address range do you want to scan for? Usually we're just going to hit IP over here, and it will automatically add the subnets that your network adapters are connected to. Once you have this network range up here, what you're going to do is hit the scan button, and it's going to start scanning the network. So I'm going to hit the scan button. Right now you'll see the progress on the bottom, and when it starts to find some devices, you're going to see the devices showing up. There you go. Here you have the first device that came online. Okay, so now you can see the scan is 100% complete, and we have some information over here in the bottom. It says there's 23 devices alive. 2 of those means those are online and they replied to the scan. 2 dead. So that means these 2 were online at a previous scan, but now they're no longer online. And 483 unknown, so those were devices that didn't reply to the scan or are not on the network. So here we have a list of devices that we can see are online. This is very useful when we're searching for a device on the network whose IP address we don't know. Maybe we have the MAC address, but we need the IP address. In a scenario like that, we'd want to put these devices in order of MAC address and find the MAC address we're looking for, and then we can see what IP address that particular device has. A lot of times we know what the device MAC address is, like the previous example, or we may know the name of the device. Maybe we're searching for a device from Russound. In that case, we'd want to put this in order of manufacturer. Here we go. We see we found a Russound device. Now we have the MAC address and the IP address. On the left hand side, you see that the blue icons are devices that are online, and the grayed out icons are the devices that are not online, that are dead. We see down here it says dead. Next to some of these devices, you have a little triangle. This means that if you click on that, you may have a web page that you can connect to for those particular devices. So here you go. You see I got a login. that happens to be an IP phone. Here's another device. This is a Ubiquity Cloud Key. So you see, another good thing about this IP scan is it let us know about the devices that were running some common services. So if there was an FTP connection or a web port open or a remote desktop connection, it shows us these common connections. It scans for them at the same time. We can also sort the devices by name. So that's pretty much what the IP scanner will do. It'll scan the whole network. Once it scans the network, you want to know that you can sort devices by MAC address, IP address, and manufacturer and name, because that's going to help you find the device you're looking for, especially if you're on a network where you have like 200 devices. You're definitely going to save yourself some trouble if you can sort by manufacturer name to narrow down the device you're looking for. Sometimes you may be searching for a device that's on a different subnet than your network adapter. In that case, you can manually type the IP address range up here and then hit scan. So right now I'm scanning a completely different range than previously. There may or may not be some results. I'm not sure that we have anything on this network in that range, but this is important that you know that you can also manually enter the range of the IP scan. So now I'm gonna minimize this application, and let's now look at the advanced port scanner. So the advanced port scanner is a little different. So the advanced IP scanner is just scanning a limited number of ports. So we spoke about earlier how we're scanning, the web port, maybe FTP port, maybe a remote desktop port. But sometimes we need to see all the ports that are open for a particular IP address. Because maybe we know the IP address of a DVR, but we don't know what ports the services are running on for whatever reason. As an example. So what the advanced port scanner will allow us to do, it will allow us to scan all the ports or certain ports, if we want to choose certain ports, for a particular range of IP addresses. So in the previous scan, we saw there was a Ubiquity Cloud Key running at this IP address, 192.168.0.164. If we wanted to see what ports this Ubiquity Cloud Key had services running on, we could choose here to scan all TCP ports for this particular IP address, which is the Cloud Key, and hit scan. So what's going to happen now is the port scanner is going to scan TCP ports 1 through 65535, and every time it gets a reply and there's a service running, it's going to give us some information here on the right hand side. So you can see it already found port 80, which is HTTP. It also found 443, which is an SSL port. There's some services running on 5355, 8080, 6789, 880. So these are all ports that are listening that have services running. The previous advanced IP scanner didn't give us all that information. So there'll be some times that we need to know all the services running on a particular IP address. This is the tool we would use, the advanced port scanner. Next, we're going to talk about the rogue DHCP scanner. So this tool comes in handy when we're troubleshooting network issues. So DHCP server is what gives out IP addresses on a network. Every once in a while we've come across situations where a network had more than one DHCP server, where it should just have one DHCP server giving out IP addresses. And in that case, we've seen that the rogue DHCP server was giving out IP addresses that were not useful for that network. So we're either on a completely different subnet than the local area network, on a different gateway than the router, which was providing internet service. So every device which got this rogue IP address was not functioning properly. So all you have to do is run the application, double click it. If you get this message, you can just hit continue. It's a small app, it's going to open up. You're going to click detect rogue servers. You want to allow access. And it's going to tell you all the devices that offered up an IP address. On this particular network, there's only one DHCP server, which is 192.168.0.1. So this is a valid DHCP server, and there's nothing wrong. If there was more than one DHCP server on the network, you would have additional results here, and then you could determine if one of those DHCP servers was not supposed to be on the network. So that completes the tutorial of the advanced IP scanner, advanced port scanner, and the DHCP, the rogue DHCP detector.